Aaron, what was your defensive mentality going into this game, particularly with the matchup that you drew?
Well, you got to match his physicality. Let him kind of come to you. I think it was definitely a group effort. You know, everybody was loading. People were getting hands on the ball and making it difficult for him. So just trying to make him finish over me.
Holding them to just 88 points, how do you feel like the defense is coming together?
Really good. I think we're starting to understand what we're trying to get to. There was like a little bit of like lag time of kind of like the last defensive regime compared to this one. And I like this one.
Nikola's now started this season with 4 straight triple doubles. What can you say about that?
He's amazing. You know, like it's just like the way that he's able to control the game at his own pace is second to none. You know, so he's the best in the world, and he continues to prove it.
When you see Peyton having some of the blocks that he has and Bruce some of the lockdown defense he has, what does that do for the energy on that side of the ball for you guys?
It's huge. You know, it's inspiring, and so we need guys to make inspiring plays year long. You know, especially in games where maybe the energy isn't all the way there. Those guys bring it, and it just revives and rejuvenates the rest of the squad.
The way you guys were able to kind of handle your business, it seemed just kind of like methodical the way you took them down. What does that say about where this team is so early in the season?
Yeah, I think it shows growth. You know, I think last year when they got back to 6, it could have been a dogfight coming out of halftime, and to turn it back on is nice, you know, but it would be even better if we didn't fall asleep.
Pretty uncommon for you guys to be able to go 8.5 minutes without Nicola on the floor and win those minutes pretty handily. Just how are you kind of feeling the depth of this roster?
Well, Big Val is nice, you know, so like he's certified. He's just really, 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 really good, you know. So yeah, it's not like a huge drop off.
What specific aspects of his game in particular have you seen impact the second unit?
He's just smart. He's smart, knows his game, knows his spots. He's bigger than every other matchup that he has on him. So, and he settles down that second unit. When things get stymied or you can't find a bucket, you know, you can play through Big Val just like how we played through Joker.
I saw you wearing Joker shoes today. Just a change of pace. You like them?
Yeah, I love them. Those are a PE. So Joker doesn't even have that pair. And I like to mention that every time I can. So anytime you see me with those on, ask me that question so I can keep saying that.
Forgive me a random question, but with all the gambling stuff going on in the NBA, do you feel like it is like pretty clear to players in terms of like what's appropriate or what's allowed and what's not, or do you feel like there are gaps in terms of educating maybe some of the players as all this is going on?
It's pretty clear.
Great. Thank you. Jonas, how do you feel like the second unit is coming together and how are you fitting in?
Well, you know, it's just a start, but so far so good. You know, our job to keep the lead and, you know, maintain what we're doing on the court. So we're trying to do as much as we can to be positive.
Everyone's been so complimentary of your professionalism, but also of your personality and the joy that you've been bringing to this team already.
Yes.
Well, I'm just trying to be myself, you know, trying to win some games, trying to enjoy, you know. Yeah, winning is winning, but also we got to enjoy it too, you know.
Where does that come from?
Where's that come from? I don't know. From me, from me, you know. Just it's fun to enjoy basketball. Yeah, it's fun to be, you know, to have that fun on the court, off the court. No matter who's playing, no matter who's, you know, doing good, we support each other and just having fun all around this locker room.
You've played a lot with Jamal in that second unit. How do you feel like the chemistry has come along with the two of you?
You know, I just got to set a screen. That's my job. You know, if I set a screen, everything can happen. So
I'm sure from the outside you heard so much about the non-Jokic minutes with this team, and now that you're in it and you're kind of leading those non-Joker minutes, what do you feel like your role is? Do you feel like the pressure when he's off the court?
That's a big pressure. That's a big pressure. You know, it's big shoes to fulfill, but you know, we're looking also at the team performance. I'm not gonna do whatever he does, but just second unit trying to come out and play positive. Don't lose the lead or build a lead. That's our job. So we're doing it. We still just 4 games, so we still got a long season ahead of us.
Jonas, I know Lithuania has very proud basketball culture, but like, how did you get into the sport, and when would you say like you kind of fell in love with it?
Well, from this young days, from this young age, basketball has always been something I loved. I was a kid, that was just going to the backyard and shooting hoops. Now it's became a hobby, job, good time, everything. So, it means a lot for me. That's big, one of the biggest part in my life. So,
Was it dad, mom?
well, I've always been tall as a kid, so they just asked me to go and try basketball when I was like, 7, 8 years old. There you go. I'm here now.
It clicked right away at 7 or 8?
It was just at that age is just to have some fun like we do now.
Have you learned anything that you didn't know about playing alongside Nikola Jokic or even going against him in practice? About him as a player or a person? I'm
still learning. Still learning. It's a lot. Every day is new stuff coming out. So, he's phenomenal on the court, and he's personality of the court. So I'm happy to be a side of him.
Thank you.
Jamal, what shifted for you guys in that third quarter in particular?
Nothing really. We were playing like how we were in the first. I think that's the main thing. We came out strong, and then they went on a run. Partially because of mistakes, partially because they're down. They're a great team, but I think we just got back to what we were doing in the first quarter, and we didn't look back.
Defensively, what allowed you to hold him to 88 points?
We had better talk today. We were really packing the paint. I think the offense really bona fide our defense today because of how fast we were playing and stuff. So it didn't seem like they had a lot of rhythm. So I say our fast breaks really gave us more confidence and kind of let them down a little bit. They didn't really know how to adjust, in my opinion, trying to slow down or speed up. And then obviously, like I said, we're packing the paint, so it made it tough on them.
Coach Adelman was talking about transition and how you guys cleaned things up throughout this game. What led to that?
Just not wanting to turn it over. We've had some lackadaisical plays, and we're playing faster, but at the same time, we're trying to also not to give the ball back after a great defensive possession. So just having that balance, not trying to overthink it, but at the same time take care of it. So I think that was a huge point of emphasis for us. I'll just stop right here.
How badly did you want to hit the post the third time there on the wing?
It was almost 4. It was almost 4. Yeah, it was almost 4, I think. But yeah, I really wanted to hit that just because I don't know what I was doing. I just felt like doing it.
What does it say about this team to just kind of go out there handily and dismantle this team, and it just kind of seemed routine for you guys?
They're a good team. It's not a team that you can just come out and be all lackadaisical. We saw what they did in the second quarter, making a 6-point game before halftime, so we knew we had to come out ready to play again. So nothing special. We just had to keep this kind of momentum for the next game. We know Portland's going to be a good team, and they're playing at home on Halloween, so we know what to expect.
How are you already feeling the impacts of the depth on this roster?
Just professionals. Big V's a professional. He knows what he's there to do. He doesn't complain. He's a big, jolly guy. Tim kind of reminds me of that KCP, super intense, great shooter. Who else we get? And then Bruce is Bruce. He's just kind of filling the gaps wherever he should, wherever he feels needs, doesn't force it. So I think we just got a really professional bench group.
There have been instances off the court that Jonas has shown off his personality as the big jolly
We got
guy.
to talk to him for you to understand.
You've talked a lot about screen setting and how it helps you. Does it seem like this group has a lot of guys that can set good screens?
It's not just obviously Jonas is a huge guy, but I think Peyton has gotten really good. CB, obviously, just his, relationship with Yoke and how they slip to the basket and all that. So I say a lot of guys are coming in just with the point of emphasis of screening. Tim last game was screening his ass off. So it's just game to game what we need, and we're playing more physical. I like that we're finally playing more physical on both ends. Kind of just seeing what the refs are calling, because the other team's holding, grabbing stuff. So if they're going to allow us to do it too, then so be it.
When you see Peyton making that sequence where back-to-back blocks on the same possession, what does that do to just kind of like fire up the team?
I mean, his name's Swatson. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. He electrifies the crowd with those blocks and those dunks. So, every time he jumps in the air, it could be a highlight reel. I'm just, he's getting more comfortable with everything he's doing on offense, and I think defense will just always be what it is.
What stands out about what Aaron was able to give you guys on the defensive end tonight?
I don't know what he did on defense today. I'm just messing. He's just you can just mash him up with those big bodies. He's a tough guy to go through. He still moves his feet really well. He was really locked in the game plan today too. So I think he did a great job. And it was a huge reason to our success.
How much have you been checking in on or monitoring what's going on in Jamaica? I saw that you tweeted out you were going to help with relief efforts.
Yeah, their cell phone towers were down, so I couldn't really get a hold of some of the family. But my dad's going to go out there, see what he can do, some of the cleanup. I know a lot of the roofs or houses are torn apart, and the water's really cold, which is another thing. But I'll do what I can, and obviously in the summer when I go back, it'll be a lot easier for me to help.
Thank you.